Hey, welcome back to the channel, Ducks Hockey and More, everybody. Just finished up watching a Ducks game. They played the Jets, kind of a matinee game today. They played last night as well in Minnesota, lost in a shootout. So actually looking pretty good in that game yesterday. I was hoping for a much better turnout today. But the Ducks don't disappoint, and they let us all down again. And, it was pretty sad to watch. The first period was all Ducks. They came out firing on all cylinders. It was looking really good. I was really happy, satisfied, stoked for the team. It looked like that Minnesota game and the way they've been playing the last few games actually had carried over into this game. Now, granted, they played it the night before in Minnesota. They didn't really have a lot of travel going to Winnipeg, but they came out firing, and then the second period came. And holy cow, did they look like crap. The foot just came off the gas. It actually started off okay the second period, but once we were up 2-0, it just seemed like Winnipeg turned it around. And once they got their first goal and made it 2-1, it was all Winnipeg from there out. And for whatever reason, and I blame the coaching, I really do. I mean, you can't blame it completely on the coaching. The players have to be accountable for a lot of it as well. But the majority of the Ducks' woes and their struggles this season are coaching. I've said it millions of times. Hashtag fire Dallas Eakins. Pat Verbeek, if you're listening, please stop the bleeding and let this guy go. He should be coaching high school, minor leagues. Get him away from the big boys. Okay, he cannot handle big boy hockey. Okay, they just let their foot off the gas. I know they were getting tired as the game wore on. They did play the night before, but there was just no excuse for what was happening on the ice. Quite honestly, it was just right back to the team that has put them in this situation this season with this horrible record. I guess if anything, take some positives out of this road trip. They did play a lot better overall in this 4-game road trip. They played 4 really good teams, and they came away with 2 points out of 8. It's pretty sad. And they both came in, they got a point in Nashville. They lost in overtime. And then they got a point in Minnesota where they lost in a shootout. So, that sums up our season right there. 4-game road trip. And we come away with 2 points, and it wasn't from a win. It was from a couple of points we earned in extra session, and we didn't even win those games. So, it's kind of sad that it's almost like if you're the opposing team and the Ducks are coming to town, you're almost a guaranteed win. I mean, it's like a guarantee the way this team plays. I really hope I've said this before too. I really either hope they turn it around and make a season out of this, and prove to the NHL and prove to other teams that they're not going to just go away on, laying on the ice and let people walk all over them. Or tank and go after Bedard. Go after the number 1 draft pick in this season. The Ducks have never, ever in their history since 1993, in their very first draft, the expansion draft, they've never had a number 1 pick, ever. They've had the 2nd overall pick. They've had the 3rd overall pick. They've never had a number 1 overall pick. This season, they should tank and go for the number 1 pick and pick up Connor Bedard. That's what they should do. At this point in the season, we're a little over a quarter of the way through. We're absolutely horrid. Our record is crap. You might as well just say, fuck it. Let's just go for Connor Bedard, right? That's what I'm saying, okay? I love the Ducks. Excuse me, I love the Ducks. I don't like saying tank. That's the last thing I want to do as a Ducks fan is just tank. But at this point, with the way this season's gone and the fact that Dallas Eakins just can't coach an NHL team, he has the best players that he's ever had to work with right now on this team. He's got the best team he's ever had, and he still can't make it to work. He can't get it to work. He's horrible, absolutely horrible. That's all I have to say, really. Ducks are going back home, and let's see if they can maybe squeeze out 2 points in regulation. They've only gotten 1 game that they won in regulation, and that was at home against the New York Rangers, and they barely won that game. They actually got outplayed and outshot in that game, and New York had actually played the night before in LA, so they got lucky. Those were 2 points in regulation that they got lucky. So technically, if you really look at it, they probably shouldn't have got a point in that game or a win in that game either. But I don't know. Well, they are by far the worst team in the NHL in terms of, for sure, their record. But in overall team play, it's bad. And the hard part, because I look at this team and I see, we got a lot of young players, but they're really good young guys. And we've got some really good veterans too. They're not, we don't have a horrible team. On paper, our record should be much better. I think we should be at least 500, okay? We should be ahead of Arizona, ahead of Chicago, ahead of Columbus, ahead of these teams, and at least working 500, not playoffs, but, making improvements and a competitive team. And we are not. We're not even close. We show signs. And lately it's been a little bit better, but we still cannot put it together. It's really sad. And again, I don't blame anybody specifically except for the head coach, Dallas Eakins. He's got to go. I know from my perspective, Pat Verbeek, he's probably just being patient and holding on. I know he's not going to keep Dallas. I guarantee you this guy will not last in the next season. There's no way. He signed him for a 1-year extension as a sympathy signing, and hey, let's see if you can do anything with this team, knowing that there was no way he was going to move forward, with this rebuild with him behind the bench. No way. Verbeek's not that dumb. He's way too smart. So, sorry, Ducks fans. Bad night tonight on the ice. So, either way. Looking towards just NHL general stuff. This is all off the top of my head. I didn't make any notes for this because I just watched the Ducks game, so I just want to come out here and talk about the Ducks. But I do know in the NHL overall, the Central Division's pretty solid. Dallas looks amazing. Robertson's killing it. This guy might win the Rocket Richard with the way he's playing. Toronto's still rolling along. Boston's still rolling along. Vancouver's improved. They're getting a little bit better. Defensively, they're still not where they need to be. And goaltending for sure is not where they need to be. So those are some trouble points for them. They have improved. The worst teams in the NHL are still the worst teams in the NHL, and the best teams in the NHL are still the best teams. Boston, New Jersey, Vegas. Who else can you throw in there? The New York Islanders you can throw in there. Carolina, Dallas, Winnipeg. These teams are just rolling, man. They're still doing really well. Some of the teams that I thought were going to be in a better position than they are right now are still struggling to find their mojo. Teams like Edmonton, they've got so much firepower in Connor McDavid and Draisaitl and these Nugent Hopkins, and they've got a really good team, but for whatever reason they just can't put a win streak together and just start cranking. Again, I think it's more on a defense and goaltending type of thing. They need to shore that up, figure something out if they're going to go deep in the playoffs. Calgary, kind of the same boat. They came out strong this season, and now they're just kind of muddling along. I don't know. So Calgary and Edmonton, a bit of a surprise where they sit right now in the standings. I think they'll turn it around and crank it up. Florida's a surprise to me. I thought they would be in better shape than they are. Washington's kind of a surprise for me. They're definitely struggling. I think the era of the Washington Capitals and their dominance or partial dominance in the East is coming to an end. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in Washington as we move along, get past the holidays and start getting into the second half of the season. Because what happens in the second half? Well, things start heating up big time when it comes to trades, and then the trade deadline comes along and everything goes crazy. So, but I think the biggest story in the East is really the New Jersey Devils. Holy crap, these guys are good. If they can keep it up, man, Lindy Ruff's going to win the Jack Adams Coach of the Year. New Jersey might even make a deep run in the playoffs. Who knows? What's a surprise to me as well in the East is the New York Rangers. I really thought that the teams to beat in the East were going to be the Rangers and the Carolina Hurricanes, and both teams are the Hurricanes are doing way better. But New York Rangers just really haven't. They started off pretty well, but they haven't really gotten going like the New York Rangers of last year. It's interesting. So they're a bit of a surprise too. I don't know. Hey, guys, thanks for watching. Go down, subscribe. Please smash the like button. Comment. Tell me what you think. Ducks fans, comment about the Ducks. NHL fans, tell me what you guys think. If there's anything you want me to talk about, make a video about, I'm in. So, love you guys. Thanks for watching Ducks Hockey and more. We'll see you next time around.